Hey, what's going on, guys? This is going to be a preview video for Death Before Dishonor 8. This will be airing Saturday night on Go Fight Live. Obviously, I'm going to recommend everyone to check it out. You know, guys have been doing an excellent job of previewing it. True Slayer, Insta Classic 8, Big Rat, all did phenomenal jobs of promoting this pay-per-view. So definitely check out their previews if you get a chance. But before we get into the Death Before Dishonor show, I just want to talk about Phoenix Rising. This is the Phoenix show, a WrestleMania weekend show. And, you know, I talked about From the Ashes. In my opinion, From the Ashes is the superior show by far. This was good, but, you know, for a WrestleMania weekend, the Phoenix weekend was kind of, you know, definitely not on the same level as, you know, previous WrestleMania weekends. You know, you're not going to get a Super Card of Honor 3 better than our best. None of the shows were on that type of level. These were kind of just warm-up shows for the Big Bang. So it was totally understandable. You know, they had a big pay-per-view to get ready for the next week. So obviously, they couldn't stack these shows with the best cards possible. But they were still pretty good shows from top to bottom. Don't get me wrong. They're just not going to be, especially Phoenix Rising. It's just not a must-see show that we're going to be talking about by the end of the year. It's probably going to be in the middle of, you know, in the middle of the line. So let's break it down. We had Kenny Omega and Rocky Romero. This was a good opener. It flowed really nicely. Romero hit a sweet springboard DDT. Omega, you know, we've seen better performances from Omega, but these two guys had a pretty solid opening match, about 3 1/4 stars. We also had Kevin Steen and Scott Lost. All right, but before I talk about this match, my one problem with the show, the biggest problem with the show, was that the crowd just sucked. I'm sorry, this crowd was awful, but you know, there's a pretty good reason behind that. You know, the Friday night show From the Ashes had a much better crowd, but you know, this was actually a Saturday night or Saturday afternoon show. So you actually had people leaving early to go to the Hall of Fame. So it just didn't have the same buzz in the air. And, you know, the crowd was totally unfamiliar with the PWG guys. You know, Scott Lost and Scorpio Sky got absolutely no reaction. But Kevin Steen and Scott Lost, they had a nice, solid 3-star match. It was good. Kevin Steen totally owned this match. He totally owned the crowd. He was just, you know, the trash talking was just phenomenal from Kevin Steen. It's still a fun match. So, but Kevin Steen and Scott Lost, they had the shot in PWG. Or if Ring of Honor gave them another shot, they could definitely put on a much better match than this. So next up, we had the 8-man tag. We had the Embassy taking on the Briscoes, Necro, and Rasche Brown. I kind of dreaded watching this at first. You know, we have a mixed bag of talent here, but it was still pretty good. You know, the stuff that Claudio and the Briscoes did together was phenomenal. Claudio hit a beautiful UFO, probably the best one I've seen him hit so far. And, you know, the stuff between Bison, Smith, and Rasche Brown's pretty good big man stuff. So this was good. This is about 3 1/4, so good stuff there. Kenny King's match was pretty mediocre, but still good. I still give it 2 3/4 stars. He faced Scorpio Sky. Steve Corino and Jerry Lynn, they throw back to the ECW days. They talked about, you know, their ECW feud and a great promo before their match. They had a nice, solid, hardcore match, but at the same time, I don't know, you kind of had the feeling that a lot of the crowd was thinking more about their older ECW stuff than the actual match itself. But it was still a good match, though. Some pretty brutal stuff in this match. So it definitely delivered in a big way. I thought it was good. So next up we had the American Wolves taking on Colt Cabana and El Generico. People are kind of overrating this. I think it's a nice, fun match, but it's not. It probably is the match of the night, but it's still like it's not going to be like a match of the year nominee by the end of this year. But it's just nice, solid, fun wrestling here. Nothing much to talk about. You know, you pretty much get exactly what you would expect. Probably like 3 3/4. So next we had Tyler Black, Austin Aries, and Roderick Strong. You know, first it was Roderick and Aries. Roderick actually went through a table, was selling a shoulder injury, was taken out of the match. Then Tyler came out. Austin kind of forced Tyler to put the belt on the line. And then once Roderick healed up, he came back out. Jim Cornette made it a 3-way match. And it was just a nice little preview to the Big Bang. You know, they didn't kill the crowd. It was just a nice little taste of what we were going to get at the Big Bang show. Pretty solid action, but at the same time, nothing special. About 3.5 stars. So a pretty fun warm-up show for the Big Bang. But, you know, like I said, you know, we're not going to be talking about this show by the end of the year as one of the best shows. But I still probably give it maybe a 7.5. Or, I'm sorry, 7.75 to an 8.0. So still a pretty good show. So check out Phoenix Rising if you could get it pretty cheap. So let's talk about Death Before Dishonor 8. This is going to be an excellent, excellent pay-per-view. If you were disappointed with Final Battle, if you were disappointed with the Big Bang, I guarantee you this is going to blow those pay-per-views out of the water. You know, Final Battle's main event, it kind of left a bad taste in people's mouths. You know, you had Austin Aries. He was a heel champion. He was kind of stalling for time. And, you know, that main event really didn't, you know, give a great impression of what Ring of Honor is all about. But here it's a little bit of a different story. You know, you have Tyler Black and Davey Richards. You know, both of these guys, I guess you could call them both baby faces. They're both trying to make a name for themselves. They're both hungry. They both want to prove that they're the best in the world. And I'm going to guarantee you that these guys are going to go totally hard out there. And I'm expecting a lot from these two guys. I really think that this is going to surpass HBK and Undertaker as, without a doubt, the best match that has taken place within for the first half of this year. And just think it's going to be amazing. Now, I think you need to put the belt on Davey Richards. I really think you need to go in that direction. I think one of the problems with Ring of Honor, at least over the last couple of years, is that they're not really giving the belt to the guy that's hot. And, you know, when Tyler Black probably should have definitely won the belt, you know, back in 2008. You know, I mean, people would say, you know, at 8th anniversary show, they really capitalized on the situation. But bottom line is, the guy, he just doesn't have the buzz that he had 2 years ago. And I think Supercard of Honor 5 was proof of that. When you guys see that, you probably know what I'm talking about. So, but this will be a phenomenal match. And I might get a lot of heat for saying this. And I did not realize this, but Bryan Danielson's 90 days no compete clause is actually only pretty much with TNA. I think it's really just with TNA and just being on live, you know, pay-per-view, mainstream pay-per-view, I guess. So he's going to be actually booked at the Dragon Gate show in July. And I don't know, I think there's a small possibility that, you know, he might make a run-in during this show. I mean, maybe you could actually do a run-in thing with Davey Richards and Dragon. Maybe you could have Dragon screw Davey Richards out of the match, you know, while the referee's down. It could be totally a shocking thing. And maybe you could build up to a Davey Richards, Bryan Danielson match at Glory of Honor. However, I seriously doubt that would happen. I'm just throwing it out there. I just think that would be awesome. And it would really create a lot of buzz for Ring of Honor if they could get Danielson to show up on this pay-per-view. So, but nonetheless, you know, this is going to be an excellent, excellent match. And seriously, this whole show, without a doubt, it's going to piss on anything, you know, that has taken place on wrestling on pay-per-view so far this year. It's going to kill everything. This is going to blow away WrestleMania. I'm guaranteeing it. And if it doesn't, then I don't know what I could do, but I guarantee you that it will. This pay-per-view should be at least a 9. Everyone should be giving this at least a 9. I think this is going to kill Supercard of Honor 5 too. Supercard of Honor 5 was amazing, but I think this will be even better. It's just a more well-rounded show from top to bottom. The wrestling is going to deliver, as always. But at the same time, you know, you got storylines here. You got good storylines, great build-up. Every single one of the, you know, the big 3 matches had great build-up. And aside from those matches, you also had Austin Aries and Delirious. You know, that's going to be a nice, fun storyline match as well. So, you know, Briscoes and Kings of Wrestling, their match at the Big Bang was awesome. You know, I'm expecting this to be a little bit more intense. You know, there's more of a heated situation going into this match. So this should be phenomenal. Kevin Steen and El Generico, what can I say? Probably the best storyline that ROH has done, you know, since the Age of the Fall stuff with the Briscoes. I mean, this has just been an awesome feud, and I think everyone can relate to it. It's been a nice, easy feud to follow, and you know, it's just surreal. It's going to be crazy to see these two guys going at it because, you know, we're so used to these two guys teaming up, but they're going to go out there, bust their ass, and put on an excellent, excellent match. It's just going to be so good. And Kenny Omega and Christopher Daniels. I think Christopher Daniels has a lot to prove. You know, people are talking a lot of shit about him. I've been talking some shit about him as well, that, you know, he's really not on Bryan Danielson's level. He's not on AJ Styles' level. And I think he's going to want to go out there and prove, you know, that he's still one of the best wrestlers in the world. So him and Omega are going to have a great match. Omega, you know, this is his first chance to show what he could do on pay-per-view in a singles match. So expecting a lot. I think the Toronto Gauntlet is going to go phenomenally well. You know, I think Roderick Strong probably would take that match. And you just got some great talent in that match as well. So this should just be an excellent, excellent pay-per-view. You know, Go Fight Live, you know, the quality, in my opinion, it could be a little better. I'm expecting the quality to be a lot better than last time. You know, personally, I just had some problems last time, but still, you know, you can still see the show pretty good. You know, the quality is still pretty decent. So for $14.95, this is a steal. You know, I'm guaranteeing you that Fatal 4-Way is not going to come close to the amount of quality that you're going to get on this show. So definitely check out Death Before Dishonor 8. It's going to be beautiful by far. So by far, this is going to be the pay-per-view of the year. So definitely check it out. All right, guys, thanks for watching.